Now, first I gotta get your permission. Is it okay if I give you 2 phrases? Is it okay if I give you, I know I promised you 1. Is it okay if I give you 2 closing phrases? Is that all right? So the topic today, the 5-word closing phrase that works every time. I'm gonna give you 2, okay? I know I promised you 1. I'm gonna give you 2, if that's okay with you. If you want a powerful close, here's a 5-word phrase that works in any industry every time.
What? What'd you say, bro?
Here's a 5-word phrase that works in any industry every time. Now, first of all, let me give you the position of this. We're talking about closing. Closing, prospecting, not the same thing. See, some of you watch Glenn Ross, or you saw some sales trainer somewhere say, always be closing, always be closing. You're trying to close. Like if you go to a cocktail party, you're like, hey, you'd be great in my business. Like you should totally join. Or, hey, you ready? I got buy one, get one. You misunderstood the energy of that. Always be closing. I believe anyone that's good at closing, what they actually meant was to continuously attempt to move people toward the sale, but it doesn't mean close in that transaction of time that you're with anyone, regardless of their position. Now, for those of you who've studied my 4P method, so the 4P method is pipeline, posture, position, perspective. So when we're talking about closing, the most important aspect is position. Where's the position of the prospect? Not the position of you. You believe in your product. You believe in your service. You think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You think it's fantastic and everyone on the earth should have it, right? That's your position, which is good to have, right? Position is understanding the position and where is the prospect. So always be closing is terrible advice to someone who doesn't have enough information. You're trying to close someone who's like, what is it again? Like, what are you even saying? What are you selling me? No. So when we talk about closing, please don't mix this and intermingle it with prospecting. Prospecting is seeing who's open. So when I talk about closing on my YouTube channel or in my products or whatever, right? It's further down the sales pipeline. It's a higher position than prospecting. Some of you are trying to close people out of position, OOP. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, am I saying that this will close every person you ever say it to? No, no. But what it will do is it will give you insight on every person you ever ask. You will gain intelligence. You will gain understanding. You will gain some wisdom. Okay. So I promise you 1, I'm going to give you 2. 5-word closing phrase. What were you looking for? What were you looking for? Now, when would you ask this? Now, again, it's a what kind of question? A closing question. It's a closing phrase. So you would ask this after they've been introduced to your product, service, your opportunity, whatever it is that you're selling. Let's just use some different examples. So let's say you do financial services. Okay. So I get a postcard every single week. You know, I think I'm on a targeted list, I think, but I get a postcard every week that's inviting me to a free lunch or dinner at Ruth Chris or Fleming's or Capitol Grill or the Ritz every week. Isn't that amazing? Should I just go eat all these free lunches? Well, or dinners? They're usually by financial service people. They're trying to get me to invest with them. They're trying to get me to use them to manage money. If you do financial services, would it be appropriate for them to send me a postcard that says, hey, let me be your financial manager. Go to this link to sign up? No, that'd be crazy. Why? Why would it be crazy?
Shouldn't you always be closing?
Well, it'd be crazy because it's out of position. I'm not ready. I don't know this person. What are you talking about? I'm gonna let you manage my money? What are you talking about? So what do? They send me this postcard and they give me a little bribe, right? Little bribe. Hey, how about some lunch, my man? How about some free lunch or dinner? They're trying to see if I'm open to a conversation. So let's say I went to the Ritz or Capitol Grill or Fleming's or Ruth Chris or any of these things that I seriously once a week, I'm getting at least once a week, I'm getting a postcard, right? Come to this free thing. It's Joe Schmo with Financial Services Incorporated or whatever. Let's say I went. I go, I sit, I eat my steak or whatever they're serving. Afterwards, I say, just not a fit for me. Guess what would be a good question for them? What were you looking for? Now I'm going to give you a second phrase. I actually, to be honest, prefer this phrase, but 5-word phrases I think are better for titles. What were you hoping to see? See, I like the 6-word phrase better, but both of them accomplish the same thing. What were you looking for? What were you hoping to see? What were you hoping to see? Both of those are going to get us into a new conversation, not about what they liked or didn't like, but what are they looking for? What were they hoping to see? Because if I know that, I'm able to better answer their deeper questions. Now, I may not be able to close them. And this is whether I'm selling real estate, investments, essential oils, air conditioners, whatever, right? What were you looking for? What were you hoping to see? Whether you're selling cars, what were you looking for? What were you hoping to see? Those are both great closing phrases that will, at minimum, gain you wisdom. It'll, at minimum, give you marketing suggestions on how to create your next Instagram video. Oh, y'all ain't doing that? Y'all ain't paying attention to your prospects and creating content specifically for the things that they're saying? Oh, why not? Why aren't you? See, some of you, you have your marketing routine, right? So you pump out videos and stuff, but they're completely disconnected to your prospecting. You're actually gaining wisdom over here, but you're not using it over here. So if someone says to me, "Hey, I was actually looking for did," right? I'm gonna say, that's my process. I actually make that sound involuntarily. I'm gonna say, "Wait a minute. If they were looking for did, maybe I should make a video that leads with, you guessed it, and I'll put some trending audio behind it, and I'll put a little B-roll, a little caption, right? So you gotta connect the two. You gotta gain the wisdom in the streets and put it in your banners. Gain the wisdom in the streets, put it in your Instagram videos. Crazy that you don't, but most people don't. They just have, this is how I'm supposed to market because that's what they told me to do. Gain wisdom, alter your marketing. This morning in Rate Makers, I gave you my most basic but effective Instagram strategy. So if you're in Rate Makers, go and watch it. It's short. In Rate Makers, by the way, less than 7 minutes a day will completely change your business. Totally change it. I give you an action step every single day. Highly efficient. I give you a training and an action step every day, Monday through Friday. And we have some bonus trainings in there as well, of course. In position, your prospect has been exposed to a sample, has been exposed to a presentation, has been exposed to a video, has been exposed to the workout or whatever it is that you're selling. And they don't just say, "Sign me up, Joe." Right? They don't just sign up right away. They don't just buy right away. So what are you going to do? You're going to come to this 5 or 6 word closing phrase. What were you looking for, or what were you hoping to see? And you will either be able to hear what they say and move them closer to the sale and get the sale, or you're going to gain wisdom and then you're going to implement that wisdom into your marketing. And by the way, if you are struggling with your prospect, if you can't find people to talk to, you're like, where are these people? We have a brand new course for you. It's only $17 right now, at least. And you can check it out at higdongroup.com/unlimited. This is very simple stuff. Let's be honest, but most people don't know this. They hear a rejection, they're like, okay, all right, right? And they're sad face, and they get some ice cream. It's not good. It's not helping them. Tag someone who needs to be a better closer, who wants to be a better closer, and who deserves to make more money in their business.